This video may contain what could be considered attorney advertising under the rules of your state. This video is for information purposes only and should not be construed as legal advice. If you have a legal problem, it's vital for you to seek out and talk to a licensed attorney for advice. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. My name is Chris Simmons, attorney at law, and this video is just to summarize the information contained in a video I made yesterday, where I went through the entire Northern District of California ruling in which the court granted provisional relief to DACA recipients and ordered the government to continue processing DACA applications. So I'm just going to summarize this. If you want the full legal rationale, the history behind DACA, basically everything that the court said and kind of to understand how they got to that, you can watch the video I produced yesterday. I do warn you, it's kind of long, but it's worth listening to. So to summarize everything about this ruling, first of all, know that the court denied a 12b1 motion, basically a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. The court said there is subject matter jurisdiction. They laid out the reasoning and all that, but the more important part is that the court is requiring the government to continue the status quo. They're not requiring the government to do anything new, simply continue the DACA program until this court has been heard and decided on the merits. There are some exceptions to this. So let's go through exactly what is and what is not applicable to this ruling. First of all, if you are a DACA recipient and you have already been approved, you can apply to reauthorize your DACA. This only applies to people who've already received DACA. It does not apply to new recipients, those who have never had DACA and those who have never applied to DACA. What that means is that if you've never had it, I'm sorry, the government can still deny new applications, but they can't deny applications to reauthorize those who already have it. Second of all, this provisional relief does not keep the government from denying you what is called advanced parole. Essentially, if you are a DACA recipient and you need or want to travel outside of the United States, understand that the government does not have to grant you advanced parole. They can still deny it, which means if you leave the country, you may not be able to come back into the country. You may be denied entry. That is what advanced parole is for. There's no guarantee of that. However, that is one of many possibilities because this ruling does not force the government to grant advanced parole. Third, this does not mean that you will automatically be reauthorized for DACA. The court stated that the government can deny DACA reauthorization applications on a case-by-case basis based on discretion. So, just because you apply does not mean that you will automatically get it. You will need to work through the process. I recommend hiring an immigration attorney to help you in this case. I guess I should say this could be considered attorney advertising. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's attorney advertising and say I am an immigration attorney. However, you don't hire me based on one video or anything. But I do recommend you hire an immigration attorney to help you in this process. So that's the basics of this. Finally, I need you to understand that if the 12B6 motion succeeds, if this ruling is appealed and the Court of Appeals overturns the order, or if the case is decided on the merits and the plaintiffs lose, as in the defendants win, this means that the government can end DACA, as they have tried to do. So, this is only temporary relief. It is not guaranteed relief, but it is some relief to those who already have DACA. This is not ordering the government to do anything new. It is simply maintaining the status quo. That's a summary of everything that is in this ruling. If you want further information, please watch the video I produced yesterday. Again, it's long, but I think it's worth the watch. Finally, I want to end this particular video on a personal note and a personal plea, even if you are not a DACA recipient. If you support Dreamers, if you support DACA, if you support the idea that these men and women who were brought here through no fault of their own as children, who have grown up in the United States all their lives, they've got an education here, they've only known this culture. If you believe that they deserve or they should have this opportunity instead of having their lives essentially completely uprooted at the whims of the government, please, I beg you and ask you, call your senators, call your House representatives, write the president, get out and protest. Find nonprofit organizations that help these people. Do what you can to force Congress, to force the president to continue this program. Do not simply sit at home and hope for the best. These people need your help. They need all of our help. So this is not me as an attorney saying this. This is me as a person asking you and pleading with you, call your representatives, get out and protest, support nonprofits to help them. Let's keep DACA going. And let's get a fix to this so that these people don't have to keep worrying whether they're going to be allowed to stay here or not. So I thank you. I thank you in advance for what you do for DACA. I sincerely hope that each and every one of you does even just a small amount to help these individuals, and I will see you in the next video.